Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. Quick shout out to my newest patron, John G. Thank you for choosing to support the channel. Just a quick update on the funding secured trial. It sounds like Elon may take the stand as soon as tomorrow, Friday. It sounds like Elon's team had a small win. They were doing a cross-examination and they were able to put some dents in one of the main plaintiff's cases. They forced him to admit he started investing in Tesla in 2012, which was 3 years earlier than he testified under his own lawyer's questioning. And Spiro, Elon's lawyer, was basically saying that tweet was just a thought bubble to try to inform investors on what was going on behind the scenes, and he said considerations are not certain. Everybody knows that. No need for us here to dive into this drama. All that's going on is Ross Gerber had his annual meeting for the fund that he runs, and he was looking for somewhere to point the blame for his fund's performance because of course he owns a lot of Tesla in that fund, and you guessed it, he pointed the finger directly at Elon. For me personally, pointing the finger at any one thing and saying that's what's moving a stock is absolute nonsense, especially when you understand high frequency trading and the amount of leverage and margin that's now in the market. And just read the book Dark Pools if you don't believe me. And even if part of Ross's argument is valid that things may have been better for Tesla investors if Elon did a stock offering rather than selling all those shares on the open market, it absolutely means nothing to Tesla's long-term future or fundamentals. This is really just more drama and noise. Some of you will side with Ross, others of you won't. Doesn't matter either way, let's move on. I saw some questions online about why Tesla was shipping cars from Giga Berlin to Taiwan instead of from China. As far as I can tell, there are still some tensions between China and Taiwan, specifically when it comes to auto imports into Taiwan. So that would be my answer. And while we're here, this is a decent point that as Tesla continues to grow, delivering all of the cars it continues to manufacture at higher rates is going to be more of a challenge. So to everyone trying to analyze down to the last car and panicking about inventory levels changing from last year, it's really not necessary in my opinion. If you want an implied argument that Tesla is very undervalued, I'm going to use this tweet from Meet Kevin to make it. The Goldman Sachs Tesla stock note has a 12-month price target of $200. Given where the share price is around right now, that implies around 63% upside. Here's the argument. Goldman Sachs predicts Tesla's earnings for 2022 to be $3.48 per share. In 2023, their expectation is $3.50 per share, essentially zero earnings growth for the entire year. However, they still think Tesla has a 63% upside over the next 12 months. A lot of you know personally, I don't care too much about these Wall Street Tesla notes, but plenty of people do, so there's a great argument for you if you do. And Yashu pointed out another good one. This from Morgan Stanley on Tesla stock, January 13th of this year. Their price target, $250. This year, they're expecting Tesla EPS $3.99. Next year, they're expecting it to go down to $3.77. Despite that, they still say Tesla stock has over 100% upside.
Your Roman's numeral this morning is 10. Electric vehicles make up 10% now of global car sales last year. The Wall Street Journal reports electric vehicle sales jumped 68% last year to 7.8 million. EVs still make up only a small fraction of car sales in the U.S., but they're showing strong growth in Europe and China.
This Chinese finance publication made some predictions about the NEV market in 2023. Important to note, 2023 will be the transition year in China from policy-driven to product-driven. They predict the sales of NEVs will reach 9 million in 2023, which would be a year-over-year growth rate of 40%. They predict Tesla's sales in 23 will surpass the joint venture between GM and Wuling. In 2022, Tesla sold 440,000 units domestically retail sales, while the GM Wuling partnership sold 442,000. Here's where it's interesting. They expect Tesla sales in 2023 to be 800,000 vehicles. It's not clear whether they meant domestic retail or total. However, it seems like they were referring to domestic. If they were referring to domestic, that would imply 82% growth in 2023, which is not out of the question, but in a recessionary year, it would be a big goal. If they were referring to total, both domestic and exports, that would only be 12% growth, which seems far too bearish. All of that to say, just be careful with this one. This one definitely made me chuckle. This is too much. At a discussion organized by IG Metall, Jörg Steinbach, the Brandenburg economic minister, said that Tesla's production should be sped up somewhat to reduce customer wait times. That has to grow up a bit more. What we have here is an economy minister publicly telling one of the most advanced manufacturing companies on the planet how they should run their business. Okay. Thankfully, we did get some actual news here. They said Giga Berlin was recruiting 200 to 300 people per week, even as other companies in the region can't find talent. And the labor force right now at Giga Berlin totals around 9,000 people. Remember, the goal for this first phase is 12,000 people. Important question for you. Have you heard David Sinclair say this?
Of course, other people have studied red wine and found that people who drink red wine tend to live longer.
I obviously have, and a lot of you know I'm obsessed with learning and trying new things, which is exactly how I found Bright Cellars. And yes, they're the sponsor of this video, but again, you know that I will only ever work with companies that I really believe in and enjoy, that have improved my life in some way. Bright Cellars is a home wine delivery subscription service, but no worries, if you're not big drinkers like Ash and I, you can skip deliveries anytime. But here's what got Ashley and I hooked. With each new delivery, Bright Cellars includes a wine card to actually teach you all about the wine, the vineyard it came from, the ideal serving temperature, the best food to pair it with, and more. Ashley and I are big believers in rejoicing and celebrating life events, and we also love to host. We host a Bible study every week with our family, and we love having guests over. Bright Cellars ensures we have great wine we can share with our guests, and it's delivered right to our door, so no trekking out in the snowy winters. They have a quick 7-question quiz to help pair you with wines for you from around the world. Their experts select less than 2% of the wine they sample so we can get the best of the best. They also have a concierge team to help you with any questions you may have. Bright Cellars is offering Electrified viewers $50 off your first 4-bottle box order. All you have to do is use the link in the description below. And yes, trying out Bright Cellars is an excellent way to support the channel. We talked last month about how Thailand had put in a bunch of new orders for Teslas when the configurator went live. Now the first delivery has arrived ahead of schedule. At an event in December, Tesla said the first cars would arrive in February, but we have a few hundred Model 3 and Model Ys that have arrived now. Even better, apparently some reservation holders are getting emails from Tesla saying this: your order agreement will be updated within 2 days with their latest pricing, making your Tesla more affordable. And honestly, from everything I've read, the prices in that market were already pretty competitive even before these upcoming price discounts. Starlink is just killing it. They've signed another new deal now with Carnival Cruise Line. Installation of Starlink terminals has already begun and services should be live on some vessels. This will be first on Carnival and Ada ships, followed by these others over the next few months. Carnival has not said whether the cost for Wi-Fi will be included with a cabin charge or if it will be extra. Carnival now joins other cruise lines, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and Hertz in offering Starlink. Starlink has also dropped the one-time hardware cost for Starlink Maritime from $10,000 down to $5,000. And remember, this service really is not for your mom and pop boat. It's designed for big ships way out at sea. I have, however, read of people using Starlink Mobile on more regular boats effectively as well. Plenty of people have wild opinions on what's going to happen with oil and gas in the future. Jamie Dimon said oil and gas will be necessary for the next 50 years. Elon said true. There will be a long tail of usage, but it will peak long before then. Luckily, Elon elaborated saying peak oil demand probably happens within the next 5 years. Modesto's Frito-Lay plant had a little get-together basically to show off their new shiny Tesla semis. They said the plant's use of the electric and compressed natural gas already has resulted in a 91% reduction of greenhouse gases from its fleet. That's equivalent to taking about 1,000 standard SUVs off the road. And they said we're just getting started. This project in Modesto does not exist in a vacuum. They want this to serve as a blueprint that they can then roll out to other locations, and hopefully other companies will follow suit. This was trending on Reddit today. Basically, they were saying that NHTSA had released a special crash investigation for the Model S crash on the Bay Bridge pileup. However, the article is from Notebook Check and they don't link to any sources. I tried to find this on the NHTSA website for special crash investigations, and Tesla was not even an option to search when it comes to make of the vehicle. Maybe I just didn't take enough time to find it. If you can find it, please let me know, but for now, I'm not buying it. This is a pretty cool new deal for Hertz and the city of Denver. Again, that should act like a template for other cities in the future. Hertz is already in negotiations with other cities as well. Basically, they're looking to bring more EV chargers not only for Hertz customers, but for the public as well. And they're looking to increase public awareness when it comes to electric vehicles through education. This program is called Hertz Electrifies, and they're bringing 5,000 EVs to its Denver fleet for daily customers, as well as for ongoing rentals to drivers for ride-sharing services like Uber. They're also looking to bring chargers into lower-income neighborhoods, and Hertz will provide EVs, tools, and training to the city's technical high school. And Hertz gave us an update saying they currently have around 40,000 Teslas and Polestars available for rental, and they expect that number to double by the end of 2023. And yes, Hertz is in active discussions with other US cities, so good job, Hertz. It's a long ways off, but just to plant the seed, it looks like Alpine is looking to bring a mid-size SUV and an even larger model to the US market, but it won't be until 2027 or 2028. Right now, Alpine only has one model, of which they sold about 3,500 units in 2022. So here's that one vehicle, the Renault 5 Alpine hot hatch EV that is not coming to the US. VinFast said today it's going to launch promotions to protect the market competitiveness of its models. They said, "We're considering many promotion programs and will announce soon." VinFast should make its first around 1,000 EV deliveries to US customers this month, and remember, they do have plans to build an EV plant in North Carolina. This one's interesting. Apparently, Uber has been working with some automakers, but they have not disclosed which automakers they're working with to try to develop custom EVs that are basically specifically for ride-sharing services. They would be optimized for city use, have lower top speeds, and with seating areas where passengers can face each other. The idea makes sense, right? Reduce the specs, reduce the cost. But they said they were considering smaller vehicles with 2 or 3 wheels and trunk space. Which leads us to this unfortunate news. I know many people in the Tesla community really liked Arcimoto, but it seems like they may be on the verge of being done for good. Arcimoto has shut down production at its Eugene factory because it's nearly out of money. We've halted our production of vehicles and will require substantial additional funding to resume production. The company warned financing may not be available on any terms. If it's not, we'll be required to cease our operations and or seek bankruptcy protection. Yes, I know bankruptcy protection can mean many different things, but the point is it's not great right now. And why I think it's not great right now is because they really haven't proven the model yet. They've only made around 252 of these 3-wheel vehicles, and they only delivered 115. If they had a proven business model, raising some money wouldn't be as difficult, but from this standpoint, it's going to be a challenge. Personally, I did not follow this company closely. I just heard of it mainly through Gally, honestly, and heard a little bit more about it when he joined their board. I think he may have left a while ago, I'm not sure on that, but either way, there were signs of trouble at the company now for months. For me, this 3-wheel thing starting at $18,000 would be an absolute non-starter, but I do feel like there are good applications for this, whether at a resort or in certain countries where the roads are really congested, but to take this on an American road just seems a little reckless. I mean, if you get in an accident with a regular car in this thing, it's probably good night. But again, to Arcimoto fans, I absolutely see potential use cases in more niche situations. I just don't think it's for the mainstream market. But I would be genuinely curious what you guys think about Arcimoto, and to everybody that disagrees with me, please let me know why. Now we have Edmunds saying that interest in people searching for Teslas has surged after the price cuts. They said the Model Y became the second most researched vehicle last week, which was up from 70th place the week before. And the Model 3 was the 11th most researched vehicle on Edmunds' site, up 36 spots from the prior week. And from Drive Tesla Canada, you can now use referral credits to buy things like FSD, Enhanced Autopilot, and Acceleration Boost. These software upgrades will not be cheap in terms of referral credits. FSD will cost you $240,000, which is equivalent to 40 Tesla solar purchases. Acceleration Boost will cost 40,000 credits or 7 referrals. And they're saying Enhanced Autopilot is 120,000 credits or 20 referrals. Sadly, you cannot use referral credits to purchase an FSD monthly subscription. Don't forget to check out Bright Cellars linked below. Take advantage of that discount if you're into that type of thing. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please like the video if you did, and a huge thank you to all my Patreon supporters.